Round 3 of the 2023 season between the Orleans Firebirds and the YD Red Sox makes its way back to Eldridge Park for the second time as YD looks to build on a phenomenal pitching performance from yesterday and continue to run atop the East Division. Poley, Perri, Kitei alongside, just mentioned the pitching yesterday. Perri, really strong performance yesterday from Smith Pinson and Hector Garcia. 13 strikeouts, 2 hits, no runs, and no walks between the two of them. It was a really good rebound effort for a YD team that struggled to pitch a couple of games ago against Wareham.
Yeah, Luke, in a game like that, it's just as much fun to watch that pitching, that level of pitching, as a game where the offense is producing at a level of similar talent, because Smith Pinson and Hector Garcia put on an absolute clinic yesterday. And for Smith Pinson, his head coach at Kennesaw State was in the audience, so he put on something special for him. And Hector Garcia, who kind of flew under the radar coming into this season, is absolutely playing himself into the MLB draft. And YD comes into today. It was a really complete game yesterday from the offense as well, who faced some really tough Bourne pitching, but managed to come up big. They took some stolen bases, took advantage of passed balls, and came up with just enough hits to take a comfortable 4-0 victory. I think their most solid and complete win this season, coming against an Orleans team that was the last team to defeat the Red Sox.
Orleans 2-0 in their last couple of games against in-division opponents here in the East. They've won 2 of their last 4. And the Firebirds back at home here today, currently sitting in 3rd place in the East Division at 7-9. Daniel Avidia gets the ball, 6'4", 200-pound righty out of Grand Canyon University, will face off against a YD lineup led off once again by R.J. Austin. Kept his hitting streak alive at the death yesterday in his final at bat in the 7th. Avidia winds up the first pitch on the way to Austin, and it misses down low. 4-1, 6:28 is our start time on this warm Friday evening from Eldridge Park. Very good crowd here as always. 1-0. This one shot over towards second base, caught by Oyama right at his chest. He puts the squeeze on it for out number 1.
I think we're going to be saying Joe Oyama's name a lot tonight. He has been spectacular, particularly against YD, just extra bases and stolen bases after one another. But R.J. Austin, that was a very hard hit ball, just couldn't find the gap. But he's had at least 1 hit in every game he started since putting on the YD uniform, batting .357 coming into today.
First pitch drops down low to Xander Darby. Darby out of UC Santa Barbara up to the 2 spot after hitting 5th yesterday. Avidia's 1-0. Lifted in the air, shallow right center field. Coming on from center, Eddie King underneath it. Floating to his left, he makes the catch for the second out. Quick 2 outs for Daniel Avidia here in the first inning. And now Max Vieira will stand in. He was 1 for 4 yesterday with a base hit coming in a scoreless 5th for YD. Righty on righty, Avidia's first pitch home is a breaking ball called a strike at the top part of the zone. Avidia coming off one of his best performances of the season a week ago, his last time out against Harwich, 0-1. Slow grounder over towards third, takes a high hop, Penny up with it, throws across the diamond to first, and it's in time. 3 up, 3 down for the Red Sox in the top of inning number 1. No action to talk about in the top of the first inning. Jackson Kent gets the ball for YD when we return. You're listening to Red Sox Baseball on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Bottom of the first inning here from Eldridge Park in Orleans. No score between the Red Sox and the Firebirds in meeting number 3 between Kelly Nicholson and Scott Pickler's clubs. Joe Oyama leads off for the Firebirds, and Jackson Kent, the lefty out of Arizona, gets the ball for YD for his second start of the season. Lefty on lefty with Kent's glove covering his face. He winds, and the first pitch comes home. Taken on the outer half for strike 1. Joe Oyama at the dish, one of the top hitters among qualified bats in the league, hitting .350 with 3 batted in this season for Orleans. 0-1. Breaking ball drops low. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Kent had a really strong outing his first time on the bump for YD. Went 4 innings, allowed just 2 hits and 1 walk, 6 strikeouts.
1-1. Breaking ball finds the bottom part of the zone for strike 2. Will King, his battery mate behind the plate, getting the start today after yesterday it was Connor Dykstra's duties. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Oyama. The pitch bounces before reaching home, and Oyama lays off 2-2. Other former YD catcher Ryan Stafford got the start today for Team USA, the collegiate national team, who's taking on Chinese Taipei right now. 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball low again, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Stafford along with YD Siney, who has not showed up for the Red Sox yet this season. Braden Montgomery playing for Team USA. The payoff pitch to Oyama. Swing and a miss. Got him with the fastball in on the hands. Tied him up for out number 1. Jackson Kent, who had 6 strikeouts in 4 innings of work his last time, starts things off with a K here in the bottom of the first.
That's a huge first out for YD. Oyama has been the most dangerous of Orleans hitters against this team. So getting him out, not allowing a leadoff runner aboard, it's a really big deal here in the first.
First pitch to Andy Blake, and he lifts this one out towards right field. Not much movement from Casey Cook out there. Now he takes a couple steps towards the gap and makes the catch for out number 2.
YD taking after Orleans' lead, 2 quick outs in very few pitches, and already 2 down in the first.
Eddie Micheletti at the dish. Right, or lefty on lefty, I should say. First pitch to him. He wraps it foul behind home plate, 0-1. 236 hitter Micheletti from George Washington University. Hit .384 there this year. 0-1. Hit on the ground left side. That gets through for a base hit just past Max Vieira. And Micheletti is aboard to extend the inning here in the bottom of the first.
A really well hit ball just snuck through the gap. Vieira was pinched in towards second, and that one just got right by him to the left side, snuck into left field. Just solid contact from Micheletti.
Fenwick Trimble in the cleanup spot into the righty box. Now from the stretch, Kent fires home. A breaking ball doesn't fall into the zone. 1 ball, no strikes.
In 9 at-bats, Trimble does not have a hit against the Red Sox, has really struggled versus the YD bullpen.
Hitting .215 on the year with a pair of home runs. 1-0, here comes. Swing and a miss. Over the outside half, that evens the count of the ball and a strike. Runner on first and 2 gone in a scoreless game on this Friday evening between YD and Orleans. Winner of this one takes the series lead for the moment. 1-1 pitch, delayed. A pickoff move over to first as Kent throws over to check on the runner, and Micheletti is back standing up. 1 ball and 1 strike to Fenwick Trimble, the James Madison Duke. Lefty on righty. And the pitch. Check swing, he got a piece and bumps it over towards the YD dugout. Very minimal check there. If that ball had not been in contact with the bat, probably would have been a ball, but instead he fouled it off. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Trimble. Kent, after giving up the hit to extend the inning, looking to retire the first. The pitch, reached for and golfed foul over towards the fans on the grassy hill and right. There are a lot of them here on this Friday. Jackson Kent getting back ready for another 1-2.
It's 4th of July weekend out here. The Cape is really filling up. You can tell with all the traffic around, and today this hill is absolutely packed.
Pitch on the way. High and away. A fastball that King squeezes. 2 balls, 2 strikes. This is going to be probably the craziest next few days we'll see until maybe the playoffs in the Cape League, with all the fans filing in for 4th of July and scouts getting their last reports done before the upcoming MLB draft. Kent looks over at first. Another 2-2. This one lifted over. Left side jumping catch made at third by Xander Darby. And that ends the inning. A web gem at the hot corner from the YD third baseman, and both teams go scoreless in inning number 1. We head to the second from Eldridge Park in Orleans, and no score between YD and the Firebirds. Back in a moment. You're listening to Red Sox Baseball on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Top 2, no score between the Red Sox and the Orleans Firebirds. Luke Poley with Perri, Kitei, Daniel Lavidia back to the mound. 4-5-6 coming up for YD. Starting off with the DH, Hunter Hines. Knocked a single in the 7th inning yesterday, part of a 1-for-4 effort that broke a bit of a hitless skid. And goes after the first pitch, chopped over towards second, charging in. Oyama up with it and throws to first in plenty of time for out number 1. Hunter Hines hit that one hard, but the launch angle was very low. That one hopped over to second. Base is empty now for Will King with 1 out. Got the rest yesterday after nice performance against Chatham. He was 2 for 3. First pitch on the way. Lifted up foul. Behind home plate, chasing after it. It gets out of play, out of the reach of Owen Carpellotti. Beg your pardon, that 2 for 3 performance was against Wareham 2 nights ago. Hit his first home run of the year at Spillane Field over the bridge. No balls and a strike in a scoreless game between the Red Sox and the Firebirds. Avidia has been working quickly. He's back into the wind, 0-1. Fouled straight back, 0-2.
YD's really attacking early in these at-bats. We've seen the first couple outs on just the first few pitches, and King goes after the first 2 here.
Red Sox went hitless in the first. 0-2 to King. Runs in on him, he evades it, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Avidia back to the bump and into the wind again, 1-2. Fouled off himself. King will reset. Choked up noticeably on that bat. King, a guy that does not strike out a whole lot, went 35 at-bats on the Cape this year before his first strikeout. Only about a 10% rate during the season. Pitch down low for another ball. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Will King. Another pitch on the way. This one hit on the ground towards third base, coming in on it. Penny throws on to first, and a high stretch. Olmsted has it for out number 2. Avidia is working at breakneck speed and has retired the first 5 hitters in this YD lineup. Brady Day looking to change that. Base is empty and 2 out for the 208 hitter out of Kansas State. Righty on lefty, Avidia into the wind. Pitch on the way. Shovels the bottom part of the zone for strike 1. Carpellotti with a good frame behind the dish. Second start he gets against the Red Sox after being on the bench in the first game, 0-1. Pushed the opposite way and flared foul. That one will just barely stay inside the fence of Eldridge Park. Won't get onto the busy road behind us. No balls, 2 strikes to Brady Day. Avidia lifts the knee and fires. Line left side, base hit into left field. Coming around it, Micheletti, and he will hold Day, who took a long turnaround first, but he will retreat. YD has their first hit and base runner of the game. That breaks up the 5-up, 5-down streak for Avidia to begin the game. And now Enzo Apodaca striding up to the plate. Enzo hit in the 2-hole yesterday. He was 0 for 3 with a walk. He's down to the 7 spot here today. Has mostly been near the bottom part of the lineup for YD. Righty on lefty, first pitch. Comes in on his elbow, just missed it, ball 1. Apodaca in the transfer portal out of Gonzaga. 317 hitter this season. Top 10 in average as the pitch comes in. Swing and a miss. He just got a piece as it went between the legs of Carpellotti. And so that will even the count at 1-1.
Avidia has been working quickly. He comes from Grand Canyon University, a native of Phoenix, Arizona.
Strong program out of the WAC that's had a nice couple of years. Knocked off the Tennessee Volunteers at the beginning of this season.
Pitched.
Ball and a strike to Apodaca. And a snap throw over to first.
Avidia pitched 82.2 innings in the 2023 season. Has a lot of longevity in his arm, with 7-1 in his starts.
ERA at .69 through 3 starts here on the Cape this summer in 13 innings. Pitch to Apodaca. Inside. Ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike as Apodaca looks to start a bit of a rally here for YD. Offense was very stagnant until the late innings the last time the Red Sox were here at Eldridge Park, but got going late thanks in part to an Anthony Martinez single that gave them the eventual win. Another throw over to first. Day without much of a lead is back relatively easily. 2 balls and a strike to count to Enzo Apodaca. Avidia adjusts the rec specs he's got on. Orleans in the Red Shirt Friday uniforms, Cape Cod Baseball League and script across the front. The red jerseys and the camo hats. 2-1 pitch. Finds the top part of the zone, just a piece of it, and it's 2-2. So Apodaca sees the count come even. Had 1 strikeout yesterday that came in his final at-bat in inning number 7. Avidia looking to retire the top of inning number 2 here today. And pitch. High and in. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
It's the longest at-bat we've seen from any YD batter so far.
Red Sox were pretty aggressive. It hadn't been super successful for them through the first half of their lineup. Now Apodaca stretching things out a little more. Day will be off with the pitch. The 3-2, here it comes. Ball 4, high and away. And so YD gets 2 base runners with 2 outs. And that will give Dub Gleed a chance to hit here in the 2nd inning. 1st and 2nd now for the Red Sox. Gleed playing at first base today, steps in on the plate. Came in yesterday as a late substitution on defense over at first base. First pitch to him on the way. Sails high, ball 1.
Gleed has been playing all around the infield, but at the plate has struggled a little bit through his first few games, just 3 for 23 with a walk.
Reached base twice in his last start. Pitch on the way. This one driven out towards a cavernous center field. Eddie King should have plenty of room as he floats over towards the gap. Reaches up and makes the catch, and that retires the side. Hit pretty well by Dub Gleed, but this center field here at Eldridge Park is not kind to hitters, and the Red Sox strand a pair in the top of the 2nd inning. Heading to the bottom half, still no score between YD and the Orleans Firebirds. Stay tuned. You're listening to Red Sox Baseball on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Bottom of the second inning here from Eldridge Park in Orleans. As Jackson Kent back on the mound in a scoreless game for YD. 5, 6, 7 hitters coming up for the Firebirds. Jack Penny, the lefty, leading off. First pitch to him, and he hits it on the ground over towards third base. There's nobody there, and that's a base hit. Xander Darby was in on the grass, and that ball was hit right up the 5-6 hole. And it's a leadoff knock for Jack Penny on the first pitch of the bottom of the second inning. Now Johnny Olmstead, out of USC. Righty, first pitch in, sinks low and in, 1 ball and no strikes. Olmstead this season hitting 176, 6 for 34, beg your pardon, 1 home run, 4 batted in, runner on first, nobody out. Kent brings in, swing and a miss. Fastball got it by him. 1 ball and 1 strike to Johnny Olmstead, USC Trojan, out of Costa Mesa, California. Playing first base for Kelly Nicholson today. Kent will throw over to first as third baseman Jack Penny slides back in. Penny at third base, that's the spot that Olmstead played every game at this season in the spring for USC, but over at the other corner of the infield for Orleans tonight. Kent's 1-1. Clips the outside corner for strike 2. Kent got 1 strikeout in inning number 1. That came to the first hitter he faced, Yuichiro Oyama. He's got his glove on the front hip. Now he comes set below the belt. Small lead on first from Penny. 1-2 pitch comes in. Fouled straight back into the screen, and it's still 1 ball and 2 strikes as Olmstead spoils. Olmstead back in. Batting glove on the bottom hand, but not the top. He's got the arm sleeve on that arm instead. Pitch on the way, runner goes. Pitch is high, throw down to second is in time. Will King gunned out Jack Penny by just a half step, and that clears the bases.
It would have taken a perfect throw to get him out, and it was a perfect throw from King and a perfect tag put on by Vieira as well. Actually by Brady Day over there. Really, really nice play from both of them.
Next pitch on the way. Swinging a foul ball straight back. Very unideal circumstances there for King to try and throw out a runner. Penny got a pretty good jump, and the pitch was a high breaking ball that King struggled to get out of his glove, but was able to get the runner. Next pitch, swung on and missed, strike 3. And just like that, there are 2 men down in the bottom of the second inning after the second strikeout by Jackson Kent. Owen Carpellotti, the Georgetown Hoya, up to the plate now. Catcher from Detroit. Sees a shift come in on him. First pitch on the way, swing and a miss on the breaking ball for strike 1. 3 on the right side for Scott Pickler, with Brady Day, the second baseman, backed up into shallow right field. Kent can work back from the wind. 0-1 offering on the way. Finds the outside half, belt high, and it's no balls, 2 strikes. Kent looking to face the minimum here in the second inning after the leadoff base hit. 0-2 pitch, high and tight. 1 ball, 2 strikes. One and 2 the count. Kent brings the glove over the head. The pitch called strike 3. A fastball in the low part of the zone. A nice frame job by King. And the inning is over. Pair of strikeouts following the base hit. And a pretty ideal inning afterwards, considering that leadoff knock for YD. A caught stealing and a strikeout, 1 each way for the Red Sox in the bottom of the second inning. We head to the third, and it's no score between YD and the Orleans Firebirds. You're listening to YD Baseball on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Quickly moving to the top of inning number 3 in a scoreless game between YD and the Orleans Firebirds. Casey Cook in the 9 spot leads off, and the first pitch on the way. Comes in and hits the zone for strike 1. Casey Cook, the UNC Tar Heel, hitting 181 to begin the year, 0-1. Fouls it off his leg, no balls, 2 strikes. Cook has been making some adjustments, minor ones, to his swing over the past couple of days. In the 9 spot today for Scott Pickler, 0-2. He lays off just off the plate, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Top of the order on deck for the Red Sox, R.J. Austin. Hit a ball hard his last time, but right at the second baseman, Joe Oyama, 1-2. Called strike 3, breaking ball finds the outside corner, and Daniel Avidia works his way through the YD lineup for the first time, giving up just 2 base runners, and that flips the lineup over with 1 out here in the 3rd. Avidia is working at very quick pace. First pitch to Austin. Slides in the front door for strike 1. Austin, the righty out of Vanderbilt, sees the 0-1. Drop down low, might have kissed home plate there. 1 ball, 1 strike. Trying to extend a hitting streak that has lasted 8 starts. 1-1. Chopper over towards third, waiting on it. It's picked up by Penny. His throw to first, right at the chest of Olmstead, who squeezes it for out number 2.
Nice play from Penny over on third. He charged it enough to get it on the second bounce. If he waited another bounce, Austin would have beat it out, but makes the routine play from third on the chopper.
Xander Darby up to the plate, flew out to center field his first time up, pretty shallow. First pitch to the lefty on the way. Flared foul over the road on the left side and out of play. No balls and a strike to Xander Darby out of UC Santa Barbara. He's been seeing the ball well lately. Next pitch rather to him. Finds the bottom part of the zone for strike 2. Darby yesterday reached in all but one of his plate appearances, a pair of walks and a single form as part of a 1-for-2 day. Avidia's 0-2, here it comes. Taken just below the zone, 1 ball, 2 strikes over the outer half. Avidia up to 33 pitches, trying to get out of this 3rd inning with some more efficiency. 1-2 pitch. Swinging a nubber off the end of the bat over towards short. Blake comes around its sidearms. A high ball to first, pulls his first baseman off the bag, but Olmstead applies the tag and gets Darby for out number 3. Red Sox go quietly again in the top of the 3rd inning as we head to bottom 3. It's 0-0 between YD and Orleans. Back in a moment. You're listening to Red Sox Baseball on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Bottom of the 3rd inning here from Eldridge Park in Orleans. 0-0 our score with 8-9-1 coming up for Orleans. 3rd meeting between these two sides. Jackson Kent back to the mound, faced the minimum in the last inning. First pitch to Jake Hyde. Breaks to the bottom part of the zone for strike 1. Hyde DHing today out of the 8th spot for Orleans. Out of Georgetown, batting behind his teammate collegiately Owen Carpellotti, 0-1. Swing and a foul ball hit straight into the ground, 0-2. Hyde hitting 166. YD saw him last time out, also batting in the same spot right under Owen Carpellotti. He's down 0-2 with a shift on. 3 on the right side of the infield for the Red Sox. Kent winds and fires. That one sails high. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
He faced YD in just one of the games played. He's 1 for 3 in at-bats versus the Red Sox.
One of his 5 hits this season. Kent's 1-2 pitch. Spiked before reaching home. It bounces. Will King chests it down. Nobody on base for the leadoff man, so no activity to deal with for Will King, who caught a runner stealing in the last inning as part of a 3-batter inning for Jackson Kent. Retired the last 2 on the strikeout. Looking for K number 4 here. 2-2. Twisted foul right behind home plate, and the count remains the same. Jake Hyde, another lefty in this lineup for Kelly Nicholson and the Orleans Firebirds. Kent brings the glove over the head. The pitch lined right side, right into the shift. Fielding it in shallow right. Brady Day off the short hop, picks and throws to first in time for out number 1.
Bit of an optical illusion. I thought Day had that in the air, but it was just off the bounce. Still easy toss over to first, and another shift works perfectly for this analytics-driven team.
Eddie King Jr. at the plate, the Louisville Cardinal, rocking the red Adidas cleats in the righty box. First pitch to him on the way. Breaking ball finds the inner corner for strike 1 in the low part of the zone. Kent has really located that off speed very well, especially in that bottom half to begin this game. 0-1 pitch, fastball away, and King lays off. 1 ball, 1 strike. King hitting just 133 to start this year for his first 30. Played against the Red Sox the last time here at Eldridge Park. 1-1. Looping breaking ball, and it got him on the elbow. So King wears it. It's a hit by pitch. First free pass issued by Jackson Kent. And that flips the lineup back to Joe Oyama, who struck out swinging his first time up. Runner on first with 1 gone in the bottom of the 3rd.
Oyama versus the Red Sox has been unbelievable. He is 4 for 7 total with 3 walks, reaching 7 times in 10 plate appearances.
Lefty on lefty. Kent lifts the knee and throws to first. Pulled Dub Galid off the bag. He scampered over to it. And so Joe Oyama, who led off last time these two teams met at Eldridge Park in Orleans. Next pitch on the way. Runner goes. Pitch misses low. Throw down is wide, and it gets into center field. King off to the races towards third. He'll arrive there standing up. And the runner moves up 180 feet. Eddie King now just 90 feet away from scoring the game's first run. This is the guy you want at the plate if you are Orleans and Joe Oyama. He scored the first run of the game. This was mentioning before that play unfolded the last time these two teams met at Eldridge. 1-0 the count to him. Pitch on the way. Skied left side of the infield, tailing away from the field of play. It gets out of play and lands just to our left. 1 ball and 1 strike to the UC Irvine Anteater Joe Oyama. Oyama drags his bat along home plate. YD has brought the infield in. Kent's pitch on the way. Outside. King back pick, pump fake over towards third, but he does not throw. 2 balls and 1 strike to count to Joe Oyama. Bottom of the 3rd and no score between YD and Orleans. The lefty Kent fires in. Breaking ball at the shoulders. 3 balls, 1 strike to Joe Oyama. Kent looking to avoid giving up his 2nd straight free pass after hitting Eddie King, who's standing over on third. Kent bouncing. Now he deals. In there for strike 2, and the count is full. Kent has had swing and miss. 3 strikeouts for him so far. 1 out in the bottom of the 3rd. He comes set. The Arizona Wildcat fires the payoff. Check swing on a pitch in the dirt. The appeal to third. He did not go around, and Oyama works the walk.
fourth walk against Red Sox pitching, who does not give up very many free passes. That's the second of the day, second of the inning for Jackson Kent.
That brings up Andy Blake. Double play now in effect as the middle infield backs up to that double play depth. Over at first base, Dub Gleed covering the bag. And over at third, Xander Darby, a little off the line, is level with the base. Righty on righty now for Andy Blake, who was a flyout victim his first time. Pitch on the way. Bottom part of the zone called strike one. Blake, Ivy League Player of the Year in 2023. Transferring away from the Columbia Lions for his 5th year. 0-1 pitch, here it is. Slides away, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Blake reached base in all 43 games of the Lions season.
Hitting .302 this season on Cape Cod. Kent checks on the runner at first, and Oyama takes a couple steps to get back to the bag. They're on the corners with 1 out in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Zeros up until this point between YD and Orleans. Kent again checks on the runner. King is antsy over there on third if a ball gets by to come in and score the game's first run. Some room to go the opposite way in the infield for Andy Blake as Brady Day playing a little closer to second base. Next pitch, fouled off on the left side. 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Andy Blake. So far, Kent has kept all of his pitches low, trying to draw that ground ball, get that double play to end the inning. Now the 1-2, here it comes. That was up high, it's lifted up behind home plate, it's out of play. Rose the sights that time, and Blake just connected with it and skied it foul. Still 1 ball, 2 strikes. Blake wiggles the back foot into the batter's box. He's choked up about 2 knuckles on the bat. 1-2 offering. Hit well out towards right field. Backing up, Casey Cook is under it. Runner getting ready to tag from third. Cook makes the catch, fires into the cutoff, and Gleed will eat it as King comes in to score. It's a sac fly for Andy Blake, and Orleans takes a 1-0 lead in the bottom of the 3rd. 4th ribby of the year for Blake, and it's 1-0 Firebirds. Runner on first with 2 gone now for Eddie Micheletti Jr., who got the first hit of the game for Orleans back in inning number 1. A 2-out single that extended the side. Lefty on lefty. Kent comes homeward. Back foot down and in, taken for ball 1. Kent did not give up a run his first outing against Brewster. 4 shutout innings as part of a 2-0 win. 1-0. Breaking ball, clips the outside corner for strike 1.
Micheletti's first hit on the ground beat the slight shift in the infield. Vieira again back towards second base, pinched in a little bit. Micheletti could go that way again.
1-1, snapped home. That one bounces in, a lunge towards second, but Oyama retreats as Will King sprints to it. 2 balls and a strike to Eddie Micheletti. In the transfer portal. Here comes the pitch. Lifted out towards left field. Austin gives chase out towards left and makes the catch to retire the side up the line. Orleans strikes first on the sac fly from Andy Blake. He brings in Eddie King Jr. And as we head to the 4th from Eldridge Park, it's Firebirds 1, Red Sox 0. Stay with us. You're listening to YD Baseball on the Cape League Broadcast Network.
Top of the fourth, things have gone quickly, and it's Max Vieira stepping up to the plate. Just 40 minutes of game time today. Similarly to yesterday, it's been a pitching duel up to this point. 2 free passes from Kent in the third led to Orleans striking first. It's 1-0 Orleans at the top of the fourth. Vieira 0 for 1 today with a ground out. The first pitch from Avidia is inside for ball 1. Vieira, one of the most consistent hitters across the whole Cape. Second pitch drops low, and it's 2-0. Just 2 games this season without a hit for Max Vieira, who has seen an at-bat in, I believe, every YD Red Sox game this season. The 2-0 hits the top of the zone for strike 1. Regular infield for Orleans, with Blake at short, shifted slightly left. The 2-1 falls outside, and it's 3-1. Oyama a little towards second. The 3-1 ripped into right field. Going back on it is Trimble and makes the grab right at the fence. Really hard hit ball from Vieira, but right on line with Trimble. Took a few steps back and was there. More solid contact just right at the Orleans defenders.
That's what Max Vieira does right there. He doesn't hit the ball super high. The launch angle is not crazy, but he hits it really, really hard as anyone else you're going to find.
First pitch to Hunter Hines outside in the dirt. It's ball 1. He also had a very hard hit ball up towards second. Oyama got it off 1 bounce. The 1-0 outside. It's another 2-0 count to start things off for Avidia. Will King on deck. The 2-0 swing and a miss, strike 1. Outfield backed up as far as they can go on the edges, and King deep in center as well as another ball misses low. The count is 3-1 to Hines. Avidia, the kick and deal outside. That's ball 4. It's a 5-pitch walk, and YD has a leadoff base runner on first.
Hunter Hines has an excellent eye, and combined with his power, if you try to pitch around him and paint corners and things aren't exactly on line, he's going to do that. He's just not going to swing the bat and take a walk. And that brings up Will King, who has been obviously one of the best bats in this lineup for the entire season.
Choked up as he usually is and holds off on a first pitch strike. Nice frame from Carpellotti, just clips the inside half of the zone. King grounded out after a long at bat, his first time at the plate. Had soft contact up towards third. The 0-1 on the ground towards short. 1 at second. And King at third. That at first, that ends the inning. The double play ball from Will King on the soft contact. And once again, YD can't get anything going. We head to the bottom of the fourth. Orleans looking to tack on to their 1-0 lead. You're listening to YD Baseball on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Bottom of the fourth, Jackson Kent back on the mound facing Fenwick. Trimble, who is again hitless versus YD through these first 3 games, and today as well. Almost had it in his first at-bat, but a leaping grab from Xander Darby at third kept him off the board. Ball 1 clips inside. The count is 1-0. It was good contact right up the third baseline. Xander Darby about 4 feet in the air to grab that. The 1-0 on the ground towards third. Darby has it again. The throw in time, and that's out number 1.
That was what YD excelled with in terms of their pitching so well at yesterday, especially Smith Pinson early on, was bringing that breaking ball in and just getting that soft rollover.
Brings up Jack Penny. He also beat the YD shift with a single through the infield. Swings at the first pitch. It's fouled back into the fence. The net, I should say. Penny, just a hard hit ball on the ground between short and third, snuck through into left field. The 0-1, breaking ball, swing and a miss, counts 0-2. Really nice vertical movement at the last second on the off speed, got Penny to jump. Kent delivers, check swing, ball 1. Penny did not go around on the appeal. Counts 1-2 with an out. Orleans protecting a 1-0 lead. Kent deals high again. Counts even 2-2. Regular infield on this time for Penny, no longer pinched in towards second. A little bit of a breeze here on a warm Friday night. Ball 3 is in the dirt and the count runs full. The sun is setting. The field is absolutely packed for what should be a good one between 2 competitive teams. The payoff in the dirt, and Penny walks after starting off an 0-2 count. Kent shakes his head a little bit at that. Haven't seen a mound visit from either team because these pitchers have just been making quick work of the lineups. The leadoff walk, or Penny walks with an out, and it brings up Johnny Olmstead. 0 for 1 with a strikeout swinging. This time the infield shifted over slightly. First pitch shows bunt, strike 1. Gleed protecting the base at first. And Darby now in on the corner slightly. The 0-1 pickoff move towards first, runner back safely ahead first dive. Olmstead, a deep breath. Kent pacing around the mound. Now his feet are set. The lefty out of the stretch facing the righty batter. Glove at the belt. Pitch on the way. Swung on and missed, strike 2. Olmstead showed bunt on that first pitch. Now is swinging away. We can expect to see him swing away again here with 2 strikes on. Kent checks the runner at first. The lead from Penny. Pitch on the way, just outside, and that's ball 1. Fastball right on the outside of the zone. And Olmstead holds off. Johnny Olmstead out of the University of Southern California. The 1-2. Misses again this time. Misses the low outside corner. Kent really close to the edges of the zone, trying to get Olmstead to lunge for it, but he has been disciplined thus far, and the count's even 2-2 with an out runner on first. Orleans leading 1-0. Kent checks again. The pitch popped up into right field, going back to the wall, and Cook keeps it in the ballpark, but it is a base hit, and it's a double. Runners are held up. That would have been a home run if Cook didn't get a glove to it. He gets a glove to it, pushes it back inside the park. It's still a double for Johnny Olmstead, who swung at what would have been a ball on top of the zone and just cranked it towards right field. So Cook saves 2 runs, but there's runners on second and third for Orleans.
Yeah, some guys like that pitch even though it's not a strike. It's high and away, and if you can get the barrel to it, you can drive that ball pretty good to the opposite field, and that's exactly what Olmsted did. Almost had himself an Oppo taco, but a nice play out there and right from Casey Cook to keep it within the confines.
Pickoff move towards second, almost gets above the head of Max Vieira. Kent just readjusting himself and almost threw it away, but he has it back again. 2 runners in scoring position with an out for Owen Carpellotti. In the 7th spot, the catcher. Pitch on the way. This one's roped up the first baseline, but foul. Really hard contact, would have scored both. Looked fair originally, but just kept twisting and twisting on the spin. Out of play. Counts 0-1 to Carpellotti. The runners take their leads. Infield in. Ball 1 at his head. King jumps up to snag it. Wide infield right on the edge of the grass. No one really covering Olmsted at second. He has a big lead. Pitch on the way, outside, back pick towards third. Tag and not put on in time. The count is 2-1. Carpellotti was rung up in his first plate appearance. Kent sets the pitch, check swing, and he did not go around ball 3. That ball dropped in the dirt right on home plate, but Carpellotti thought it had more juice to it, just held off enough. Big pitch from Kent. He has 1 base to give up, but doesn't want to load him with an out. The 3-1. Ball 4. Carpellotti did not go, and the bases are loaded for Jake Hyde.
Couple of close ones. Kent hasn't been super wild, even on those pitches in the dirt that haven't necessarily been close to the zone. He's been drawing check swings from Carpellotti. They've been looking like strikes, but Carpellotti has been keeping his bat just before the plane, and now we're going to see a mound visit out there as Kent's pitched himself into a little bit of trouble and now nearing the 70 pitch mark as well here in the bottom of the 4th.
Some conversation going on, and a walkie-talkie has been picked up in the windy dugout. We might see a call to the bullpen, but Coach Pickler isn't out there yet. Usually there are no calls to the bullpen unless it's Coach Pickler doing it himself. So Kent might get another chance. He'll face Jake Hyde, second Georgetown guy in a row. Kent's going to stay out there as the YD coach returns to the dugout. Hyde, a second-team all-conference guy in the Big East, led his team in RBI, something that could be important here with 3 aboard. Had 56 of them in the 2023 season. He faces the first pitch of his at-bat. Kent with the ball behind his back now sets in the glove. The kick and deal fouled behind our heads. It's quiet at the ballpark, but with every pitch there's an audible reaction from the crowd. Heavily Orleans crowd, as you could expect. Kent really taking his time, milking the pitch clock. The 0-1 swung on and missed, and Kent off to another 0-2 start, but we've seen a couple of those this inning, and it hasn't gone Kent's way. Trying to change that, a strikeout would be ideal in this situation. Any ball in play could lead to another Orleans run. It's still 1-0 with an out. The 0-2 line into center field, and it hits the gap. That's going to be at least 2. Runners being waved around third. Carpellotti held up, and it's a 2 RBI double for Jake Hyde.
And just for Kent, something that he's probably going to regret, leaving a ball over the plate like that in an 0-2 count. No reason to give Hyde anything to swing at when you're out in front that quickly, but that ball just caught a little bit too much plate, and Hyde is not going to make a mistake in that kind of count with the bases loaded. That ball was hammered out to the gap. And now that's going to be the end for Jackson Kent.
Coach Pickler has left the YD dugout. The bullpen out behind the outfield fence, so we can't see who it is from here. We'll wait for him to officially take the ball before we go to break, but what started out strong for Jackson Kent through a couple. Now the Firebirds lead 3-0. Long conversation with the YD infielders. And there is a new pitcher coming to the mound. Looks like it might be Connor O'Hara, but we'll have all of his information for you when we come back. We'll head to a quick break. You're listening to YD Baseball on the Cape League Broadcast Network. It's Connor O'Hara on the mound for the Red Sox. O'Hara has gone 8.2 innings pitched in relief, has allowed 3 hits and 1 earned run. Coming into a situation with runners on second and third after Orleans has jumped out to a 3-0 start. The series between these two teams at 1-1. But Orleans and YD have both been hot lately. This is a matchup between two of the best teams in the East Division at the moment. O'Hara trying to limit the damage with just 1 out. He faces Eddie King Jr. in the 9th spot, who was hit by a pitch in his first appearance and almost was again. Home plate umpire says it clipped a piece of the bat. So that is strike 1 to King instead of a ball high and inside. Infield in still for the Red Sox. Counts 0-1, and strike 2 kisses the inside half of the plate. 0-2 count for O'Hara. Runners on second and third. The force just at first. Deep outfield. O'Hara, deep breath. He's set. The righty deals in the dirt for ball 1. King readjusting his bat, now set. Swinging the tan bat into the black handle, red and white batting gloves. The 1-2 swung on and missed, and a strikeout for O'Hara to start things off in his relief appearance. A very important second out here in the bottom of the 4th. O'Hara just 1 away from closing out the inning.
Yeah, 3 really feels doable for YD, and if it gets anything more than that, that's where things start to get a little bit hairy. So this is where you bring the reliever in now with the top of the order coming up. You just need 1 more out, get out of the inning, get your bats back up to the plate with this game still manageable.
Facing Joe Oyama, the first pitch swung on and missed. Oyama struck out swinging in his first appearance and walked in his second. He has been deadly in the past. He's had a great season. Oyama, the Japan native. Faces an 0-1 count. O'Hara pitches, swung on and missed again, strike two. These balls breaking low in the zone. Oyama missing on top of him. Both of those would likely have been balls, but Oyama isn't seeing it at the bottom of the zone. O'Hara set, the runners take the lead. The 0-2. Called strike three. Connor O'Hara comes in relief. Two immediate strikeouts, retires the side, but Orleans added on. It's 3-0 Firebirds as we head to the top of the fifth. It's Perri, Kitei, and Luke West Poley on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Top of the fifth at Eldridge Field. Daniel Avidia back in for the fifth inning, facing Brady Day, who ripped a single in his first at-bat. Really hard hit ball. Was the first hit of the day for YD. He takes strike one at the knees. Enzo Apodaca on deck as YD is in the middle of their lineup. Day shows bunt, pulls back, ball one.
Avidia came into this inning with just 46 pitches, and if you're YD, you're wanting to chase him out of the game.
Day pops it up, foul behind us and out of play. Count moves to 1-2 with no outs. Top of the fifth, YD facing a 3-run deficit. And a strikeout looking for Brady. Day holds off on the fastball that he thought was dropping, but floats up just enough to kiss the bottom of the zone. Strong start for Avidia.
Yeah, YD just has not figured him out yet. This is getting to the bottom of the order the second time through, and the Red Sox just haven't gotten anything hard. He's given him a couple free passes, but has wiped them away.
First pitch to Apodaca in there for strike one.
Got the double play to end the last inning. Had first and second with 2 outs in the second and got the necessary out. He has just been on it today.
Apodaca checks swing at strike two. He's off to an 0-2 count. He walked in his first at-bat, or first plate appearance. Was one of 2 base runners in that inning. The 0-2 swung on and missed. 2 strikeouts for Avidia, and YD is 2 down already.
He's brought the high heat, and Avidia is just having his way. YD needs to be a little more competitive against him, make him throw more pitches, get a long at-bat against him. So right now he's just mowing hitters down quickly.
First pitch to Dub Gleed, swung on and missed ahead of the off speed. The last time these two teams faced here, YD struggled against Orleans starting pitching, but found a lot of success once the bullpen came in. Ball one misses low below the knees for Gleed. Counts 1-1. It's rare to see pitchers in the Cape League go more than 6 innings. The 1-1 in the dirt for ball 2, just to keep those innings and pitch numbers low. So YD likely will see the Orleans bullpen at some point, just trying to hold Orleans off the board. Before then, Gleed hammers it foul up the third base line, and the count's 2-2.
And ideally, you'd like to speed up that process by racking up Avidia's pitch count. Innings certainly matter, but the pitch count is how you're going to get him out of the game sooner. And right now, with just 57 pitches.
The 2-2 at the shoulders, but it's a called strike 3. Carpellotti shoots the baseball back to the mound like it's a basketball, and Orleans is moving quickly. We head to the bottom of the 5th. The score remains 3-0 on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Bottom of the 5th, Andy Blake starting things off, had a sac fly to get the first run across for Orleans. First pitch to him, he swings at and misses. O'Hara has been strong coming out of the bullpen, picked up 2 strikeouts versus his first 2 batters, and starts things off with a strike. In the bottom of the 5th, it's 2-3-4 for Orleans, and strike 2 paints the top of the zone. A rare regular infield for YD. Gleed slightly shifted in at first. Everyone else at the edge of the grass. The 0-2 bounces in the dirt for ball 1. The sun has finally fallen below the hill and the lights are on. It is officially nighttime here in Orleans. The 1-2 grounded up towards short. Vieira has it, the throw in time. Out number 1, O'Hara points to his shortstop to give him some credit. That ball was a laser across the diamond. Over to Gleed at first, very clean defense. YD looking to move quickly and prevent Orleans from tacking on more. It's Eddie Micheletti, 1 for 2 with a single and a flyout in the 3 spot. First pitch to him, blasted foul onto the highway. Kids chasing after it. I think it actually might have dropped inside the fence. Very busy road behind us. But kids will chase foul balls anywhere. 0-1 from O'Hara. Really nice backdoor on the outside of the zone, strike 2. Micheletti forced to swing here on the 0-2 count. Darby and Vieira switch over at short and third. Big shift on towards the right. Day backed up into shallow right field. The 0-2 at the shoulder as he turns away, almost gets hit, ball one. Really interesting setup here. The 1-2, twisted foul on the ground, and the count remains 1-2. Micheletti out of George Washington. The 1-2 just below the knees. Count evens up 2-2. Micheletti has probably the best 2023 stats I've seen for someone on the Cape that didn't receive any conference honors. The 2-2, grounded up towards first, just foul. Micheletti batted .384 with a .460 on base percentage, 86 hits, 26 extra base hits, and still no recognition. I don't know what else would put a chip on your shoulder other than that stat line and no recognition for it. But Micheletti here, count remains 2-2. With a 1 out, bottom of the 5th. O'Hara, 2 strikeouts in 3 batters. Another 2-2. Grounded again up the first baseline and foul. Orleans coach over there tried to go for the bare hand, but couldn't pick it up. Tosses it back to the dugout. O'Hara walking back to the mound. He wants a new ball, throws that one away. Darby has been all the way over on the right side of second for a long time now as this at-bat has dragged on. Day in the shallow infield, outfield backed up. Another 2-2 above the shoulders, count runs full. Micheletti driving up the pitch count on O'Hara. Vieira, the lone defender between second and third. So if Micheletti can go opposite field on this, he has a lot of space. The full count payoff is outside for ball 4. So Micheletti works back from an 0-2 count for a 8-pitch walk. And that brings up Fenwick Tribble, the hitless wonder, with a runner on base. Infield pitched to the middle. First pitch to Trimble, fouled towards the hills. Diving out of the way are the Orleans patrons. Very little wind, the flag out in center field, hanging limply. Counts 0-1 to Trimble. O'Hara sets into his windup. The pitch at the top of the zone, a fastball, strike 2. Trimble back in the lineup today despite his struggles against YD. Has not reached base. The pitch on the ground towards third. Darby over to second. That's 1 out. Over to first. Sails over the head of Gleed. King is there to back it up. Could have been 2, but the throw from Brady Day just off target. So Trimble legs it out on the fielder's choice. Still will not be scored as a hit. 2 outs now in the bottom of the 5th.
Yeah, good effort. It would have been a tough turn because it was a 5-4-3 type of play. Gleed actually nearly retained that ball. He leapt up and almost made a snow cone catch and came back down on the bag. It just trickled away from him. But O'Hara trying to get back to that put-away pitch that he had in the last inning. He's gotten ahead in a couple of counts, but yet to find that strikeout here in the 5th.
Looking forward against Jack Penny, who takes a first pitch ball that runs inside. Penny out of a Notre Dame. Batted .241 in 2023. Had a home run against YD. And this one ripped up towards short, just over the head of Max Vieira. A blooper into left field, and it's a base hit. 2 runners aboard with 2 outs. At bottom of the 5th. Kind of broken contact off the bat of Penny. Just sails over the glove of a leaping Max Vieira. Johnny Olmstead with 2 runners aboard. Had a monster 2 RBI double his last time around. O'Hara checks his lead runner, the first pitch. At the shoulder, strike 1. Olmstead watches it go by. O'Hara taking signs from Day over at second. With Day guarding second, there's a big gap in the 4-3 hole. Outfield backed up. Vieira at his regular position at short. Trimble takes his lead on second. The pitch on the ground towards short. Vieira on the backhand over to second, but he eats it up. There's no play. Really nice hit from Johnny Olmstead. Vieira had enough room to get it in the glove, but his momentum taking him towards third had nowhere to turn. Bases are loaded once again for the Firebirds.
Yeah, it was a good stop by Vieira. It saves a run. If that ball gets in the left field, then Trimble is scoring, but had no play. And now Carpellotti, who worked a really nice walk in an at-bat that he fought in his last time up, is at the plate.
First pitch to Carpellotti, flown into the gap in left field. Austin going back for it, makes the grab. That ends the inning. Orleans threatens but can't get any on. O'Hara works himself out of the jam. The score remains 3-0 as we head to the top of the 6th on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Top of the 6th, and Orleans has the 3-0 lead over the Red Sox. Casey Cook in the 9th spot leading things off. Trying to get something going. The Red Sox just 1 hit on the day. That came off the bat of Brady Day. YD will go 9-1-2 in the inning, with some of their best hitters coming to the plate for their 3rd time facing Avidia. Cook takes a first pitch ball. Austin on deck. Avidia already onto his 2nd pitch, runs inside, ball 2. He works incredibly quickly on the mound. Just 58 pitches total through 5 innings. The kick and deal on the ground. Soft chopper towards second. Oyama has it. The toss in time. Cook just half a step away from beating it out. And that's out number 1. Austin coming to the plate.
Cook just a little haphazard. Didn't want to swing at that. Tried to hold it up, but it was too late. It was a slow roller that was simple enough for Oyama. 3rd time through the order. Something's got to give here for this YD offense with just 1 hit.
And there's been some solid contact as Austin takes a big hack at pitch 1 for strike 1. It's just unfortunately gone right to the Orleans defense. The 0-1 inside, counts even, 1-1 with an out. 1-1 to Austin below the knees. He's ahead 2-1. Avidia basically gets right back into his windup. The second the ball's back in his glove, the 2-1, low and inside, ball 3. If Austin could work a walk, that means YD could get to their cleanup batter potentially. And he will. It's a 5-pitch walk for Austin. He's aboard for the first time today. The on-base streak will continue, even if the hit streak might not. That's to be determined. Brings up Xander Darby with a fly out and a ground out today. He's been seeing the ball really well lately after making some adjustments to the wood bats his first few games. Has had a really solid past couple of them. Avidia checks his lead on first. Austin almost picked off, barely safe. Austin has been bold in the base paths. He's been caught in a rundown a couple of times, but has a couple stolen bases to his name as well. First pitch to Darby, lays a bunt down the third baseline, really nice. Avidia has it. Darby can't beat it out, but Austin advances and he does his job on the sac bunt to bring up Max Vieira. Avidia immediately called everyone else off of that. He saw it, knew it was his. But now Austin in scoring position, anything to the outfield, he will come around on. We've already seen his speed, and he is not cautious about the lead he's taking, not really being covered. First pitch to Vieira in there for strike one. Fastball on the inside half of the plate. Hunter Hines on deck, leading the Cape League in runs batted in. 0-1 to Vieira in the dirt. Nice block from Carpellotti. Holds off the runner, counts 1-1. Orleans backed up to the infield. Big gap between first and second with the runner being covered. Vieira faces the 1-1 count. Avidia winds, deals, and it's flown, skied out to left field into foul territory. Micheletti makes the catch, and that is the inning. Austin was coming around, jogging. It was 2 outs, run on anything. YD gets a runner in scoring position, but can't bring anyone around. And it's been 6 shutout innings for Avidia. We might even see him back for a 7th. Orleans leads 3-0 as we head to the bottom of the 6th on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Connor O'Hara back to the mound as a slight misty fog is rolling in Orleans, who leads 3-0. Bottom of the 6th, Jake Hyde leading off. He's 1 for 2. Double in his last at bat, but swings ahead of the off speed for strike one. Orleans almost through their 3rd time in the lineup. Hyde 1 for 2. First time facing O'Hara. The pitch from him runs inside for ball 1. The sky has become overcast and gray as the sun went down, shifting visibility Vieira over to the right side of second. Day in the shallow infield. The 1-1 chopped foul up the first baseline. And the count is 1-2. Hyde is 2 for 5 with 3 RBI total against YD. Has 2 of those today. Pitch from O'Hara runs outside. Ball 2. Counts 2-2. Nobody out. Orleans will go at least 8-9-1. Wind picking up slightly. The crowd has not thinned at all. The 2-2 in the dirt. Count runs full. Vieira, the lone defender between first and second. Darby back on the right side of second. Day now moving over, outfield deep. The full count above the head. Another walk from O'Hara, a grimace after that. And Orleans has a leadoff runner on first. Second leadoff walk for O'Hara.
The amount of struggles that YD has had have been a big difference today with 2 strikes on hitters. They just have not been able to put guys away, letting them back in counts, issuing walks. Sometimes in 2-strike counts when they have a chance to maybe bury something, get swing and miss, throwing stuff over the plate that's getting hit around. The 2 strikes have just not been kind to these YD pitchers so far to this point.
Eddie King at the plate, 0 for 1 today, has reached on a hit by pitch, struck out swinging in the other. Runner on first, nobody out. King shows bunt, pulls back, strike 1 called. O'Hara set. Now looks at King, pitch on the way, showed bunt again. This one pulled off, ball 1. Hyde takes his lead on first. We haven't seen a stolen bunt or stolen base attempt in a couple innings. King squares the bunt to start things off. Can't lay it down, it's foul. And the count's 1-2. King will now be forced to swing away unless Orleans makes the call, as Coach Pickler has done in the past, to ask the batter to bunt on 2 strikes, but it is a rarity in the sport. O'Hara back on the mound in the stretch. Hasn't taken a look over at Hyde, and he won't, only focused on the batter at the plate. The 1-2 bounces in the dirt. And the count's 2-2. O'Hara, with 2 strikes on, has been struggling to put it in the zone and give the hitters something to swing at. He's missed a lot on the low ones, bouncing them off the plate. Infield pinched slightly. O'Hara winds and deals. And the 2-2 is just high. Could be called on another day. We've seen some strikes up in the zone today, but that one did not go. Another full count for O'Hara, really big moment. Can't afford another walk in this situation. Out of the stretch, the pitch swung on and missed, but the foul tip just drops out of King's glove. And Eddie King lives to see another day after Will King can't hold on to that. 2 Kings at home plate. Full count for Eddie. Faces another payoff from O'Hara on the way. Swung on and missed this time for real, and it's a strikeout for out number 1. Really important for O'Hara to bounce back from the full count walk on the leadoff batter to a full count strikeout. Now facing the top of Orleans' order, it's Joe Oyama, who's 0 for 2 on the day, a rarity, especially against this team. Trying to start a rally and add some more on for the Firebirds. O'Hara looks up and down, first pitch on the way, bunt squared, down the third baseline. Darby has it, ball over to first, in time. Oyama thought he beat it out. He is one of the fastest players in the league, and Darby knew it, charging that ball, threw it out of the slot. Beautiful, the stretch from Gleed. So the runner advances, but there are 2 outs.
Wow, that was a really tough play from Darby. Had to cover a lot of ground to get to that ball, and then threw with almost a submarine type of arm slot, picking that bare hand off the turf. And a cannon from the corner infielder for YD.
You can't ask for a better bunt than that from Oyama. Soft contact right down the third baseline, but Darby was all over it. Hyde on second. Andy Blake at the plate, 0 for 2 with a sac fly. O'Hara looks back, checks the runner. First pitch, swung on and missed, strike 1. Hyde with a big lead. Now Day coming over to protect the base, giving his signs to O'Hara, who steps back on the mound into the stretch. Gleed pulled a little bit away from the first base line. Darby shifted over, covering third. Slight left shift in the outfield. Day backs up, a pitch on the way. Clips the bottom of the zone, called strike 2, and O'Hara ahead in the count once again, this time looking to close out the inning. Work himself out of another jam. Strand more Firebirds on base. Counts 0-2 with 2 outs. Bottom of the 6th, Orleans leads 3-0. O'Hara taking his time with Blake. He delivers. Roped, base hit into right field. The throw coming home. Blake rounds third. And it's an RBI single for Andy Blake. That ball was crushed into the gap. O'Hara's face fell as soon as contact was made. Orleans leads 4-0.
Another close one. He's ahead in the count and just can't put the hitter away. Left one to hit there for Andy Blake. A crushed ball that was lined into right. And Orleans continuing their offensive field day here in the 6th.
First pitch to Micheletti outside for ball 1. He's reached twice today as a single and a walk, a fly out along with that. In his 3 appearances, King now out to check on his pitcher. A quick meeting. O'Hara gripping the rosin bag as the humidity definitely increasing in the air. The mist fog has cleared up quite a bit. And the count's 1-0 to Micheletti with a runner on first.
What the heck just fell on the field? Something dropped over by second base. Looks like a parachute or something.
A kite, maybe?
That dropped from about 50 feet up. That is bizarre.
I actually have no idea what that is. Well, it's off the field now after that short break. In play, the 1-0. Outside again, ball 2. That one at least at the height of the zone. The first one was at the shoulders of Micheletti.
That would have landed on Brady Day if the Red Sox weren't shifted. Landed right where the second baseman normally would be.
The 2-0 runner goes. Throw on the way from King. It's a bullet, but Blake slides the hand in there in time. Just ahead of the throw, King had a tough play on it behind the plate, was slightly blocked from Micheletti. Even so, really nice throw, just seconds behind the runner. Blake in scoring position with 2 outs. It's a 3-0 count to Micheletti. And ball 4 drops low. Micheletti pimps it out, tosses the bat back to his dugout. 2 runners on. There's already been damage done on 2 outs. O'Hara needs to end it here, but if there's another base runner allowed, we might see a call to the bullpen. Fenwick Trimble reached on a fielder's choice. He is 0 for 12 in total at-bats versus the Red Sox. The guy O'Hara wants at the plate. The first pitch fouled towards the hill. Kids running out of the way. Watched it bounce on the concrete. Counts 0-1. Trimble has started off each of his at-bats today with a foul ball. Big lead on first for Micheletti, same size from Blake on second. Wide infield pinched in the middle. Blake bluffs, could have gotten caught in the middle if O'Hara had been paying attention. Instead, he deals ball one high to Trimble. Blake bluffed, stumbled, was caught in the middle for a second before he retreated. He was covered by Day, but O'Hara was locked in on home plate. From the stretch, the 1-1. Fouled on the check swing back into the net. A pitch Trimble wishes he could have back as the count's 1-2. Trimble, the Sun Belt second team all-conference selection in 2023, batted .355 for the Dukes of James Madison. Faces a 1-2 count with a runner in scoring position. 2 aboard, 2 outs. Pitch on the way, popped up. Might be a play on it, but it's just behind the backstop. Inches away from hitting someone in the head. I thought it would bounce off the press box, but just missed to the right of it. Count remains 1-2. All strikes have been foul balls. There's been 3 of them in the at-bat from Trimble. Signs from Day to O'Hara. YD losing 4-0. 2 runners on, counts 1-2. O'Hara hurls high at the shoulders, ball 2.
Orleans has been very disciplined at the plate. Credit to these batters, but man, it's just pitch after pitch on 2 strikes from these YD hurlers. You're just waiting for them to get that strikeout. Hasn't come in a long time.
Set at the belt, the 2-2 swung on and missed. Drop third strike. King puts the tag on, and that's the inning. O'Hara finally gets the strikeout pitch, even though it was in the dirt. Trimble bit. But Orleans tacks on another. It's 4-0 Firebirds as we head to the top of the 7th. It's Perri, Kitei, and Luke West Poley on the Cape League Broadcast Network.
Top of the 7th inning here from Eldridge Park in Orleans. Cape Cod isn't just any community, it's our community. At Cape Cod Healthcare, our mission to provide exceptional high-quality care for our neighbors and visitors is at the core of everything we do. From wellness initiatives and preventative screenings to leading-edge technology and specialized clinical expertise, our dedicated team is committed to delivering care that enhances the well-being of all in this special region. Cape Cod Healthcare congratulates the Cape Cod Baseball League on its 100-year anniversary and is proud to be this year's official healthcare sponsor. Learn more at CapeCodHealthcare.org. Cape Cod Healthcare, caring, commitment, community. First pitch on the way to Hunter Hines, and it drops low for ball 1 from a new pitcher that takes the ball, the lefty Jonathan Gonzalez, out of the bullpen in relief for Orleans after a gem by Daniel Avidia. 1-0 pitch on the way, swing and a miss. Hines goes golfing. That evens the count on a ball and a strike. Avidia goes 6 innings, 1 hit, no runs, 3 walks, and 4 strikeouts for the GCU Antelope. 1-1 comes in. This one grounded over towards first, scooped up by Olmstead, and he will trot over to the bag himself and apply the tag with the foot for out number 1. So Kelly Nicholson flips the arm slot over to the southpaw, Jonathan Gonzalez, and he starts things off the right way, getting a quick out. And batters going quickly has been a theme for YD, as Will King now at the plate. He's 0 for 2. First pitch to him, drops low for ball 1. King grounded into a double play his last time up. He's grounded out to third base twice now. 1-0 offering, dealt in. King smokes this one out to deep center field, backing up, and underneath it, the catch is made by Casey. Nothing hit out there is going to ever fall if you hit it high. It's 434 feet to straightaway center, the deepest of any Cape League ballpark, and quickly 2 gone in the top of the 7th. Brady Day at the dish. He's 1 for 2 for YD, only batter with a hit. First pitch to the lefty. Slides away for ball 1. Gonzalez has already seen YD once this season. He's got a 1.42 ERA. The Stetson Hatter has struck out 8 and 6 1/3 coming into this one. Lefty with a long hold. Now he's into the wind. Pitch on the way. And that burns the top of the zone for strike 1. Ball and a strike to Brady Day. Gonzalez went 8 and 4 during the spring for Stetson. Fires in the 1-1. Check swing on a pitch that slides away. Appeal to third, and no swing according to Jerry Burrish, third base umpire. And so it's 2 balls and a strike to Brady Day. Strikeout victim his last time up, 1 of 3, as Daniel Lavidia struck out the side in the 5th. 2-1 comes in on him for ball 3. 3 balls and a strike. Vidia's only real blemish were the walks. He had 3 of them. Now the 3-1 pitch. This one lined into left center field. That will drop for a base hit. Day is turning around first, and he will motor up towards second. Throw comes in, and it is not in time. A ball that got cut off before reaching the wall, but it will be a 2-bagger for Brady Day, who's got himself a 2-hit day. And there's a man into scoring position with 2 gone in the 7th. Brady Day standing on second.
Day was not running his hardest around first, thinking that ball got a little further past than it did. Saw the throw coming in, and you could see him speed up, but gets there safely. 2 hits, YD's only hits of the day, and Brady Day, 2 identical balls, just liners smoked through the left center gap.
Enzo Apodaca now at the plate. 4-0 our score. Orleans leading YD. Pitch to the lefty. Swing and a miss. Big cut there from Apodaca, who's 0 for 1 with a walk for strike 1. Couldn't connect on the slider. Gonzalez fastball slider changeup. Hanging the left arm. Now comes set. Fog starting to roll in slightly over the right side of the field. Pitch on the way. Reached for and lifted up the middle. That ball squeaks through past a diving Andy Blake into center. Day around third. He will score, and it's an RBI single for Enzo Apodaca. YD with their first run of the game. It's 4-1.
YD was waiting, as we said, for the Orleans bullpen to come out, and as soon as they plate their first run. Somehow the starting pitching, YD couldn't cut it, but now starting a 2-out rally.
So now a runner on first for Dub Gleed. Still 2 gone. YD has cut the lead down to 3. 7 outs left for the Red Sox to work with here in the 7th. First pitch to Gleed. Chopper up the middle, coming over from short, picking it up and stepping on second. Blake in stride, records out number 3. Run comes in for YD off the RBI single from Enzo Apodaca. It's a 4-1 ball game as we've reached the 7th inning stretch from Eldridge Park. Stay with us. You're listening to Red Sox Baseball on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Bottom of the 7th inning in a 4-1 game that the Firebirds lead, and we have a YD debut. Max Banks, who was just activated today for the Red Sox, takes the ball in relief for Scott Pickler and crew, the junior from San Francisco, California. And get this, he is the first player on this YD team coming from the Division III ranks. He plays his ball out west in Orange, California for Chapman University. So he will make his debut. He served as a predominant starter over his first couple of seasons for Chapman. 7-3 win-loss record this spring, 3.43 ERA. 12 of his 14 appearances were starts. Through 76 innings, walked 26, struck out 84 with a 1.2 whip. And the right-hander will take the ball here in the bottom of the 7th inning as the middle of the Orleans order coming up to the plate. Jack Penny has reached all 3 times. He's 2 for 2 with a pair of singles, bookending a walk down the middle that he scored a run on. Righty on lefty, and banks the righty into the wind. Here comes the first pitch. A breaking ball slides in there for strike 1. A lot of horizontal run to that pitch. No balls and a strike to Jack Penny. Banks with a rather large frame out there on the mound. Winding up. 0-1, bounces way before reaching home. Just lost control of that one. And so that'll even the count of a ball and a strike. 6'4", 215. Banks, the junior, from San Francisco, California.
Chapman won the Division III National Championship a couple of years ago. I know that because Northwestern University had a Chapman transfer this year.
1-1 pitch. Looping breaking ball, misses high. 2 balls and a strike. Solid Division III program out there on the West Coast. It's the 2-1 pitch, zipped high at the shoulders. A school that has produced some good baseball broadcasting talent as well. Couple guys in the major leagues from Chapman U. 3-1, high at the shoulders for ball 4. And Penny is on base for the 4th time. Jeff Levering, television voice of the Milwaukee Brewers, as well as Steven Nelson, who calls games for the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Both Chapman alums, proud Chapman alums. Runner on first for Johnny Olmstead. He has hit a single and a double in this game following a strikeout that came his first time up in the 2nd. Runner on first and nobody out. First time we will see Banks from the stretch. And the first pitch on the way. Breaking ball finds the plate for strike 1. Olmstead leaning back, works from the back corner of the righty box, crowded up on the plate. Banks, snap throw over to first. He's got a very quick pickoff, but a small lead from Penny means he's back in time. Crowd has thinned out a little bit, but still here in pretty good force in the late innings. Bottom 7 and nobody out. Pitch on the way. That one bounces in, 1 ball, 1 strike, as Olmstead takes in the dirt. Scored 1 of the 2 runs that came across for Orleans in the 4th inning. That was what gave them their insurance. Tall stance in the righty box for Johnny Olmstead. Banks nods, kicks and deals. Fastball, this one crushed out to left, going back on it at the wall. Austin looks up and it's gone. Johnny Olmstead, a 2-run shot in the bottom of the 7th inning, and Orleans tacks on another pair. It's 6-1 Firebirds.
I didn't even have to watch that ball to know it was going to the parking lot off the bat. I've never heard a louder crack. Maybe only Hunter Hines has hit the ball harder than that this season.
2nd of the year for Olmstead. And that brings in Owen Carpellotti with Orleans restoring and adding to their lead. Stood at 4-0, now it's at 6-1. Owen Carpellotti, base is empty, first pitch to him. Bounces before reaching home, that's ball 1. Carpellotti 0 for 2 with a walk down the middle. Nobody out here in the bottom of the 7th inning. as YD looking to hold this together and hope their offense can find its rhythm against the Orleans bullpen. Banks lifts the knee and deals. Breaking ball away. 2 balls and no strikes. Banks gets immediately punished following the walk as he left one over the plate that Olmstead crushed on him. 2 balls and no strikes into the wind. The pitch, fastball at eye level. 3 balls, no strikes. So Banks a little bit wild here following the home run. Needs to find the zone here at 3-0. Banks lifts the knee and pitch. That clips the inner corner for strike 1 against Carpellotti. Righty on lefty. Banks brings the glove up to his shoulder, just squeezing the ball with the leather. Now the 3-1 pitch. Breaking ball outside, ball 4.
I thought that might have clipped the zone, but no such luck for Banks, who's now given up 2 walks and a home run and 3 batters faced. I wouldn't be surprised to see action in the YD bullpen or a mound visit sometime soon.
8th walk issued by YD pitching. They've also hit a batter. And now Jake Hyde, who broke this game open with a 2 RBI double at the plate. Runner on first, nobody out. Back from the stretch. The pitch from Banks. Slides low, 1 ball, no strikes.
YD's pitching these past couple games has been so back and forth. 2 games ago, one of their worst pitching performances of the season. 4 pitchers out of the bullpen yesterday. A 2-hit, 2-pitcher shutout. No free passes. Today, as you said, Luke, 8 walks and a hit by pitch.
Next pitch is fouled back. And it's 1-1. Hyde has shown his ability to hit the ball hard. He is Kelly Nicholson's DH in this game. Righty on lefty. Banks throws over to first to check on the runner, and Carpellotti is back with a slide. He's not a huge steal threat. Get to some Cape League scores in just a second. Full night of action. 1-1 pitch. In there for strike 2. Ball and 2 strikes to Hyde as Banks looks to record his first out as a member of the YD Red Sox this summer in the Cape League, his first season of summer ball in college. Banks fires in. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Got the fastball by him, and Banks gets his first strikeout. And there's one gone in the bottom of the 7th. So YD currently clinging to a half-game lead atop the East Division over Harwich. There's a little bit of breathing room, but then right behind in third, right now it's 7-9, is this Orleans team that's looking to close that gap and make a run towards the top of the division. 4 out of 5 teams make the playoffs, though, so you just got to not be last. Jake Casey at the plate. First pitch to him drops low for ball 1. Casey, the Kent State Golden Flash, 0 for 1 on the day with a strikeout back in the 6th inning as he came on as a pinch hitter. So for YD, they've been going back and forth with Harwich over the past few days. And when YD has lost, Harwich also has. That's allowed them to stay on top. Next pitch on the way. And that backdoors in for a strike against Casey, count even at 1-1. Good news for the Red Sox is that Chatham is leading Harwich from Veterans Field 2-0. That game's still in the early goings in the bottom of the 3rd. Pick over to first base, and Carpellotti slides back safely. Here in our game in the bottom of the 7th, it's 6-1 Orleans over YD. Runner on first with 1 out for Jake Casey out of the 9 slot, top of the order on deck. Pitch on the way. Breaking ball outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Bourne and Hyannis locked up at 3 from Doran Park in the top of the 7th in some West Division action. In cross-divisional play, Falmouth leading Brewster 6-5 in the bottom of the 8th. 2-1 to Casey. Zipped at hat level, 3 balls and a strike. Rounding out the Cape League scores for right now, Katuitt, who continues to lead the West Division at 12-5, leading Wareham in the top of the 9th, 6-3, as the Kettleers are 3 outs away. YD will see them later this week. 3-1 pitch, high to shoulders, ball 4. Third walk by Banks this inning. And that flips the lineup over to Joe Oyama, who was hitless last time at the plate. He laid down a sac bunt, and now we will see Scott Pickler out of the dugout, which generally connotes a call to the bullpen. And we will indeed see a call to that direction. So a sour start to the summer for Max Banks, as he will be pulled after just 1/3 of an inning. He's responsible for first and second with one out in the top of the order coming to the plate. 6-1 Orleans. Our score as we step aside. You're listening to YD Red Sox Baseball on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Six-1 our score in the bottom of the 7th inning as Orleans continues to lead YD. Jackson Roberts gets the ball for Scott Pickler, taking over in relief of Max Banks, who went 1/3 of an inning, struggled a little bit, gave up a home run, walked 3, struck out 1. He's responsible for the runners on first and second. Top of the order is up for Orleans. Joe Oyama, 0 for 2 with a walk and a sac bunt. First pitch to him. Low for ball 1 as Jackson Roberts fires in his first offering, the righty coming out of the stretch.
And there is a heavy haze that has set over this field, making it difficult to discern the onlookers out in the outfield.
Next pitch on the way, and that sinks low for ball 2 to Oyama. Orleans looking to win their 3rd straight against an East Division opponent and win their 2nd in a row against YD after dropping the first game between these two. Next pitch, snapped up high, and it's ball 3. 3 balls and no strikes to Oyama, who's already walked once. One of the top hitters for average in this league, and what will possibly be his final at-bat. Pitch on the way. Outside, ball 4. Another walk. That's number 10 on the day for YD pitching. Something that Scott Pickler, I'm sure, is not too happy with. And now Andy Blake is at the plate. He's 1 for 3. He's hit a sac fly in this game to drive in a run, He's also singled. That came his last time up in the 6th.
Responsible for 2 of Orleans' 6 runs.
Bases are loaded. First pitch to the righty. Slides in there for strike one on the inner half, knee high. He's got nowhere to put him. There's one out here in the bottom of the seventh. YD got one back. Looked like they might try to make a run at this game, but Orleans has answered. Next pitch, this one cracked out to deep right field. Backing up, Cook at the wall, and he makes the catch at the fence. Runners at all bases are tagging as the throw comes into second. Everybody's safe. Throw squirts away, but it's backed up by Darby. And another sac fly for Andy Blake. He brings in another. It's now 7-1 Orleans. Casey scores. I beg your pardon, Carpellotti scores. Casey moves to third. Oyama to second. Now they're two in scoring position with 2 outs for Eddie Micheletti. Heavy fog over the field. First pitch to the lefty. Drops low, squeezed in between Will King's legs for ball one. Team USA score. Americans victorious over Chinese Taipei earlier today. 7-3 was the final in that one. Next pitch on the way, and it flies just up high, 2-0. Braden Montgomery was 0 for 4 with a strikeout, YD signee. Ryan Stafford was 1 for 3, brought in a run and also scored one himself. He had a nice day. Next pitch on the way. Drops down low off the shoulder of King. It trickles away. Runner coming to the plate, and King's got no play. Another one comes in to score. That's Casey. Oyama up to third on a wild pitch. And it's a 3-0 count now to Micheletti. 8-1 our score as the YD pitching has had the wheels fall off. 1 for 2 Micheletti on the day. He's walked, though, his last 2 times. A chance to do it a third straight. The 3-0 pitch, here it comes. In there for strike one. He was getting ready to toss the bat aside, but returns in a 3-1 count. 8-1 our score. Orleans leading YD. This really the only game alongside maybe that loss against Bourne where it really has felt like it's gotten away from the Red Sox. 3-1, cracked on the ground over towards short. Vieira has it and sidearms to first for out number 3. Orleans puts some more air into this lead as it's now up to 8-1. We head to inning number 8. You're listening to YD Red Sox Baseball on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Stay tuned. Jonathan Gonzalez back to the bump for Orleans, a lead that has ballooned as we're in the 8th. 4 spot from the Firebirds in the bottom of the 7th inning, and it is 8-1 Orleans. And we get a pinch hitter to start things off for YD as Jacob Christian will hit for Casey Cook, who finishes the day 0 for 2. Christian was set to come on yesterday as a pinch hitter, but never got the chance. Top of the 8th inning and YD trailing by 7. Top of the order is on deck. First pitch from Gonzalez on the way. Swing and a miss. Christian was out in front of it for strike 1. YD so far has mustered up 3 hits. 2 of them coming in the last inning. 0-1. Swing and a miss. A breaking ball again. This time Christian over the top of it. And he's down 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes to Jacob Christian, hitting an even 200 on the year. 0-2 pitch, just below the zone. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The Mendoza line. Right at 200, right on it. 1-2 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That'll put him below the Mendoza line as he goes down on strikes. First K for Gonzalez. And there's 1 gone as we go back to the top of the order in the 8th.
Christian had a really strong start to the season, and since it's been all downhill, his last couple at-bats, he's just been striking out.
First pitch to R.J. Austin, bounces on the plate for ball 1.
He's really been ahead of them and hasn't been seeing the off-speed well and timing it up right. A lot of swing and misses from Jacob Christian.
1-0. Drops right down the heart for strike 1. Austin walked his last time up. He's 0 for 2. The hit streak on the line. Next pitch on the way. Takes on the inner half for strike 2. Let her high. 1 ball and 2 strikes to R.J. Austin. Next pitch on the way. And it slides off the plate 2-2.
Austin has reached base today, but his all games hit streak is at jeopardy.
Swinging a little bumper that hits off the mound coming in from second. Oyama throws to first, and it's not in time. R.J. Austin extends the hit streak with an infield single. It was meant to be. That ball was not hit hard. Got it off the side of the mound, and Oyama just barely couldn't get rid of it in time. He beats it out.
Sometimes you just can't write it, Luke. That ball had no business being an infield single, but R.J. Austin somehow gets it done, and his speed, the drama, beat it out by less than a step.
And so now Xander Darby, runner on first with 1 out. He is 0 for 2, put down a sac bunt his last time. First pitch to him, sinks low for ball 1. YD has had a total of now 4 hits, 3 of them singles, 1 double coming from Brady Day, who scored their only run. It's 8-1 Firebirds. Pitch on the way. Strike on the outer corner. 1-1 to Xander Darby. Lefty on lefty. Darby wiggling the bat. Now the pitch. And he takes strike 2. Another fastball that burns the outer half. The haze has cleared up around the left side of the field, still clinging around the lights. You can see it kind of blowing around the air. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. And Gonzalez has another strikeout. 2 gone in the top of the 8th. Max Vieira's hitless. He's 0 for 3. He will stand into the righty box, trying to keep this inning alive for the Red Sox. Looking to get something. First pitch to him. And it's a ball outside. YD has been held at bay offensively as the next pitch comes in. It's cracked up the middle base hit. Austin, hard round around second, but he will return to the base. And it's an inning-extending single for Max Vieira, who also has another hit streak going of his own. As he extends it, and now that brings in Hunter Hines. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. It's this part of the lineup for YD, 1 through 5. Austin, Darby, Vieira, Hines, King, guys that have either been seeing the ball really well lately or just have been all season, that up until this inning were all hitless.
YD is a team that builds really well off each other. When they get hits, it comes in bunches.
First and second, 2 outs. First pitch to Hines. Slides off the plate for ball 1.
It's what's helped them to so many late inning rallies and comebacks, trying to start another one here.
Gonzalez sets, looks back at second, now deals. Rolled foul over on the right side, 1-1. Hunter Hines, a guy that hits the ball really hard. His last home run, a grand slam against Chatham, had some analytics come out today about that home run. 424 feet and 109 miles an hour off the bat. Next pitch on the way. Bumped foul right behind home. And it's 1-2 to the Mississippi State Bulldog. First and second, 2 outs in the top of the 8th. 8-1 is the lead for Orleans over YD. In all likelihood, the Firebirds will take the series lead for the moment. YD needing some help if this result holds to stay atop the East Division. Harwich is a half game behind. 1-2, reached for and punched foul. That'll go onto the road, and the count remains the same. Chatham has opened up a 5-0 lead over Harwich in the 4th. Still plenty of time in that game from Veterans Field. But if that result were also to hold, then regardless of what happens in this game, the Red Sox would still sit atop the East. Orleans nipping behind in 3rd place right now, trying to close that gap. 1-2, called strike 3 over the outer half. A nearly unhittable pitch for Gonzalez, who went to the sliding piece that just swept and caught the very outer edge of the zone. He collects 3 strikeouts with a couple of singles sprinkled in between, but no runs for the Red Sox in the top of the 8th inning. As we head to the home half, it's 8-1 Firebirds, and you're listening to YD Red Sox Baseball on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Bottom of the 8th inning, 8-1 Orleans leading over YD on this Friday night from Eastern Cape Cod. Fenway Trimble was the only man who not come up to the plate in the last inning, part of a 4-run inning for Orleans. He is 0 for 4, and he starts out against Jackson Roberts, who fires in the first pitch. This one blasted out to center field, racing back. Apodaca comes to a halt and makes the catch short of the warning track for out number 1.
One of those that would have been a home run on the corners, but in this cavernous center field, Apodaca, YD's best defender all over it. And YD gets a quick one, much needed.
Jack Penny has reached base all 4 times, 2 walks, 2 singles. First pitch to the lefty, taken on the inner half for strike 1. Penny got caught stealing back in the 2nd, back when this game was tied up at 0. Roberts, 0-1. This one hit in the air towards center field again. Apodaca going towards the right center gap. This time it's over his head, and Apodaca picks it off the base of the wall. Rounding second, heading into third. The throw is not in time. It's a slide safely into third by Penny, and a 1-out triple for the man in the middle of the Firebird order.
That's the closest we've seen to a home run of being hit out of center field. That ball probably went more than 400 feet before it dropped. A much-deserved triple for Jack Penny, who is having an unbelievable day.
So Johnny Olmstead at the plate now with a runner on third and 1 out. Olmstead blasted a home run over the left field wall his last time up. First pitch to him. Bounces in, chested down by Will King, right on home plate. He'll scoop it up with the glove ball one. That center field is so big. We've talked about it a couple of times. Those familiar with this YD Red Sox team may be familiar with Gary, YD superfan, and we were talking to before the game. He comes to every YD game, has for the last many years, and talked about this beautiful ballpark and said that there's only one person who's ever hit the ball over the center field wall here. His next pitch comes in, and it's in there for strike 2. He's in the Hall of Fame. He's one of a few to play in this league and be in the Hall of Fame. And his name is Frank Thomas, who played for the Firebirds back in the 80s. Next pitch on the way. Cracked left side base hit. That gets into left field. Penny will score. And Olmsted drives in another with an RBI single that makes it 9-1 Firebirds. But Frank Thomas, the big hurt, if you're familiar with his game, he was very strong. He could hit the ball very, very hard. And he is the only person to ever put it over that 434 sign in center in, 30-plus years of this ballpark. So, tough place to hit it out there. Runner on first with one out now for Owen Carpellotti. He's 0 for 2, but has walked twice.
Gary is full of fun facts. I love learning from him.
First pitch drops low for ball 1. He's been to every YD game except for the few games that YD has played off Cape in Hartford, Connecticut, which they have been playing for the past couple of years since, I believe, 2016. He's been to every game. Next pitch on the way. Zip down low, and that bounces in for ball 2. YD will be there against the Hyannis Harbor Hawks in late July. They will take on Hyannis at 11 a.m. out in Hartford at Dunkin' Donuts Ballpark, one of the best ballparks in all the minor leagues. 2-0 pitch. Hit on the ground to the middle infield. Could be 2. Scooped up by Day. He goes to second for 1, and there will be no throw to the back end. Carpellotti reaching on the fielder's choice.
Looks like Vieira was called off the bag, so Olmsted actually will advance to second. And there's no out. The umpire motioning off the bag. Unfortunate misstep. Rare for Vieira.
And Vieira's just looking at his dugout. That was not at fault of the throw. It certainly looked like he was right around the bag, just must have missed it with the toe, and so that puts runners on first and second. And with one out, Jake Hyde at the plate. He was right over top of that bag. There's the whole idea of the gentleman's rule where are you really touching second or not? First pitch comes in, swung on and missed for strike 1 to Jake Hyde. But Vieira missed it, I guess, so everybody's safe on the play. So Hyde, down on an 0-1 count, the pitch. He fouls it straight back. That makes a loud thunk off the padded brick backstop behind the plate here at Eldridge Park. YD will have a similar-looking backstop next year after some field upgrades. Currently, there's fencing around home. They're going to change it to screen as part of some field renovations at Red Wilson. 0-2 off the plate, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Hyde hit a 2 RBI double back in the 4th inning. Has also walked and scored a run. Struck out swinging his last time up against Max Banks. This is his first time seeing Jackson Roberts. Pitch on the way. Just gets a piece, fouls it back, and it stays 1-2. 9-1 our score. Runners on first and second with 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th inning. 10 hits for Orleans to YD's 5. Red Sox have also walked double-digit batters. 1-2. Lifted foul into the screen again, and we'll do it again. Hyde, who was hitting 166 on the season, has had himself a nice day at the plate. Chance to stat pad here in garbage time as the 1-2 comes in, and he rolls it foul.
4th foul ball of the at-bat.
YD looking for Roberts to just wear this right now and get out of this 8th inning. In all likelihood, that will be the final inning that YD will have to pitch for, barring any wild comebacks. 1-2, breaking ball away, and he takes to make it 2 balls, 2 strikes. Roberts this season, 10.11 ERA and 2 2/3 with a pair of strikeouts. Has given up 1 run here in the 8th after the 1-out triple by Jack Penny came across in the RBI single from Johnny Olmsted. 1-2, swung on and foul tipped. Beg your pardon, that was the 2-2 pitch to Jake Hyde. Left-hander, righty on lefty. Roberts coming out of the stretch.
Hyde is dragging this out.
2-2. Fouled off again, right behind home, and we will do it again. YD will be back at home tomorrow. So they will take on the Brewster Whitecaps. 4:45 start as always from Red Wilson Field. Perri and I will have coverage right here as well. Make sure to tune in. Then Landon Beidelshe's the Ohio State Buckeye, projected to get the start. Mostly a bullpen guy so far this year. 2-2, flared foul. And this at bat is taking an eternity.
7 foul balls and a strike, in case you're wondering.
And for YD's bats, who are largely uncompetitive through the beginning part of this game, this has lasted longer than some innings for YD at the plate. Next pitch on the way. This one hit pretty well out to right field, but getting there, the catch is made on a line and firing it back in. Both runners will stay put. And now, for real this time, there are 2 gone.
Jacob Christian out there making the grab around waist level for a very important second out. Should have ended the inning, but with that freak accident over on second, still just 2 down.
Jake Casey up for his 3rd time coming off the bench. First pitch to him on the way. Finds the bottom of the zone for strike 1. 0 for 1 with a walk and a strikeout. Left-handed hitter. 0-1 pitch. And he takes strike 2 on the bottom part of the zone. Bit of a head shake from him there. And the count is 0-2. He's got the team issue gloves now, as most of the guys do, so he's not repping Kent State anymore. 0-2 pitch on the way. Sails high. 1 ball and 2 strikes. One of the best seasons in a while for Kent State. Team that actually made a College World Series, which is crazy to think about. 1-2 pitch. Ripped right side, and it's a fair ball, and past the diving effort from Gleed, it gets into right field. 1 run is in. Pulling into second, Casey's got himself a double as the runner in Carpellotti will halt at third base. And so another run comes in. And now they're on second and third with 2 outs as the inning again prolongs, and Orleans into double digits in the run column. It's 10-1. Back to the top of the order. 6th time through for Orleans. For context, YD has not made it through their 4th time down the order yet. Oyama hitless on the day. First pitch to him, check swing. It finds the outside corner for strike 1, and he comedically pulls his swing the rest of the way around after that strike call. 2 strikeouts for Oyama on the day, 2 walks and a sacrifice bunt. 2nd and 3rd with 2 outs. Xander Darby in at third base. Next pitch on the way, jammed foul. 0-2 to Oyama, native of Okinawa, Japan. Plays on the West Coast for UC Irvine. Look back at second, now home, and the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and the side is retired. And so we will head to the top of the 9th inning. Orleans tacks on a couple more. It's 10-1 Firebirds. The 9th inning is next. You're listening to YD Baseball on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Will King starts off in the top of the 9th inning for YD. Our score is 10-1. Orleans leading the Red Sox. King looking for his first hit of the game. Gonzalez back on the mound, and the first pitch snapped high and away for ball 1. So this is a very unorthodox save situation for Gonzalez, who came in relief in the 7th after 6 innings strong from Avidia. 1-1, hit on the ground over towards second. Oyama up with it, throws a rainbow to first, and it beats King for the out. So it would be a 9-out save for Gonzalez, game that has never been close since he took over in the 7th inning. But because he has the chance to finish out the final 3 innings, that would theoretically give him the save if he could hold it out. We're going to see a pinch hitter for YD. Connor Dykstra will bat for Brady Day. Bases empty, 1 out. First pitch to the righty. Skies high and away for ball 1. Dykstra yesterday was 1 for 4, reaching on a single and an error with a pair of strikeouts in the middle innings. Swing and a miss on the 1-0 offering. 1 ball and 1 strike to Dykstra. This is really one of the first games as the 1-1 pitch comes in. Outside, 2 balls and a strike. One of the first games where YD has not really been competitive going into the final innings. Kind of a blowout. 2-1. Swing and a miss. He was out in front. And it's 2-2. YD has been on the better end of this on the flip side a couple of times, but hasn't really been getting blown out in the 9th at all this year. This is the first time. 2-2 to Dykstra. Strike 3 called. It got him on the bottom part of the zone. And the Red Sox are down to their final out as Gonzalez continues to mow him down. Enzo Apodaca's 1 for 2. He's also walked in this game. And in the top of the 9th in a 9-run game, he is the final hope for YD. First pitch to him is over the plate for strike 1. Gonzalez continues to be phenomenal for head coach Kelly Nicholson. Is now the next pitch on the way. And it misses just underneath the zone. 1 ball and 1 strike to Apodaca. YD increased the hit column a little bit here in the later innings. 1-1, bouncer, and that gets all the way to the backstop. 2 balls and a strike. Through 6 innings, YD was being 1 hit. And then in the 7th, they got a couple of hits where they eventually scored their 1 run. 2-1, pitch to Apodaca, and he takes high and tight. 3 balls and a strike to Enzo. Looking for potentially his second walk if he could reach base. That would be 3 out of 4 times he'd be on. 3-1 pitch. High bouncer over towards first, coming in on it. Olmstead has it. No one's covering the bag, and he tripped up as he tried to flip over to his pitcher Gonzalez. Apodaca runs it out. And we'll see how that one is scored. Might be a base hit for Enzo, as that was going to be a really tough play. A chopper that was just to the left of first base. Olmstead had to go play it, but there was no one covering the bag. So now it's Dub Gleed. It is a single for Apodaca. And the first pitch to Gleed. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Enzo with back-to-back hits. He's now 2 for 3 on the day. Dub Gleed is 0 for 3, a fielder's choice his last time to retire at the top of the 7th. Next pitch on the way, and that misses outside. 1 ball and 1 strike to Gleed. Apodaca not being held on at first. YD has been held off offensively all night. 1-1, sinks low and in. 2 balls and 1 strike. YD will look to rebound tomorrow. They've been one of the best rebounding teams in the Cape League, which may serve as why they sit at the top of the East Division after losses. They have been fantastic. Next pitch on the way. And that misses outside to Gleed for ball 3. YD has not lost back-to-back since the beginning of the season after they dropped their first 2. 3-1 to Gleed on the way. Swing and a drive out towards center field. This will be kept within the park as backing up. The catch is made by Casey, and the ball game is over. 10-1 our score as Orleans takes it on the road. YD drops their 7th game of the season and the Red Sox will have to hold out for the result coming out of Chatham tonight to see if they will stay atop the East Division. Winning pitcher in this one was Daniel Avidia, who went 6 innings strong of one-hit shutout ball. Jonathan Gonzalez followed him up nicely and picks up the 9-out save in a 10-1 victory for Orleans. Perri, offense didn't really hold up a whole lot in this game for YD, but it felt like this really got away from this pitching staff. Double-digit walks. They gave up a couple of extra base hits in untimely moments, and it's really been a back and forth like you called it in the middle innings. It seems like sometimes we don't know what we're going to get out of this pitching staff.
Yeah, Luke, from Avidia, it was a really strong starting outing, and you can't fault YD. I think, honestly, the pitching performance just outperformed this incredible offense, but the pitching today was day and night from what we saw yesterday. Another 4-pitcher performance, and if Roberts hadn't been forced to wear that, we could have seen more if this game had somehow stayed competitive. But instead, the number of free passes that were given up by YD today is just nothing you should be seeing at this level of baseball, and nobody could come in from the bullpen to fix it. It was the first outing we saw from Max Banks, the only Division III level player on this team. YD is going to have a lot to think about going into tomorrow, and it seems like pitching has just been coming in waves recently.
So with the loss, YD falls to 10-7-1 on the season. Good news for the Red Sox is that Chatham continues to lead on the top of the 5th, 6-0 over Harwich. If that result holds, then YD will still be at the top of the East Division at the end of the night, but we will have to see how that one unfolds. We'll be back on the air tomorrow, 4:45 start between the YD Red Sox and the Brewster Whitecaps as they will meet for another time. YD's had good success against the Caps so far this season, as Brewster dropped another one today to fall to 6-10-2 on the year, 6-5 decision against Falmouth. Tomorrow from Red Wilson Field, it'll be a 4:45 start. As always, stay tuned for updates and coverage right here. We will have it for you. So that'll wrap things up here from Eldridge Park. For Perri Kitei, my partner, our entire crew at the YD Red Sox, thanks so much for tuning in. Final score in this one, Orleans 10 and YD 1. We'll see you tomorrow. This has been a presentation of YD Red Sox baseball on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you.
Thank you.